7 iron.
Good.
Nice day, eh?
It's not bad, is it? More blue sky.
Aye. Shall we chill, mindy?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What was that, did you say?
7.
7. Go for it. Put your line up in the 150, okay?
Yeah. Oh, there's that pool calling. I was like 9 out of 10 were good, and then that was the one that still creeps in.
You don't get too wide. Are you deliberately trying to draw it there? No?
No? Don't know if my arms came a wee bit too much. Settled it good there.
Yeah, I almost thought when I looked at you at the start, was maybe second, I almost thought you looked like you were closing off a little bit.
Right.
So I'm watching you with the iron there. If you go back behind me, almost looks a wee bit like you were sort of setting up and getting a wee bit close to the shot.
Right.
So maybe getting a little bit into driver mode there.
Right.
So I think just maybe if I put that cane down, just certainly don't close off, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe keep yourself a wee bit squarer. If it feels like
Okay.
you're opening up your stance a wee bit, that's maybe not a bad thing, okay? Do your wee practice swing. Let's see that nice kind of controlled follow through practice swing that you show me.
Well, I know the wind's going that way, but
So where do you think that would come from?
closed club face.
Yeah, it is there, you see. So if you look at the
It's like,
numbers on it, you know, your path was good. Club face just shut down a wee bit. Yeah, it is there. There's your oh, can you catch that one for some reason? This was the one.
look at the path. The path's perfect. That face angle is fine.
That was the one before it we got. Yeah, I just didn't want you getting too closed off to the shot. I don't want you thinking too much draw with the iron. Remember we talked about that, okay? You didn't have to try and draw the iron.
I'm not
shot.
trying to. That's right.
So if you come back here, if you were going to have a perfect shot, where would it start and where would it finish?
Left of the 150, dropping over it.
Yeah, just like a 1 yard fade.
Yeah.
That's it. So that 1 yard fade is a good shot for you to have in. Good shot for you, I think, to have in your head before you walk in there, Craig. Just a 1 yard fade, okay? I think that's quite important, is to walk in with a picture of the shot in your head. Okay.
I didn't fade. I just went dead straight. Look, -3 to -3, so that's a dead straight sliding pull.
Slight pull draw. Same again, we're only talking a 1 yard fade, remember. It's not a choppy fade, it's just a
Yeah.
1 yard fade, okay? Ball position, maybe drop it an inch back in the stance, that's it.
Ah!
There's a shot. Yeah, there's a big one there. Path good, minus 4.6. Now what you've got to watch here, right? I think I can see what you're doing here, right? What you've got to watch is the last time we were talking a wee bit about the club face, weren't we?
Yeah.
Now we're talking about how if you can sometimes maybe even open the club face up slightly as you're coming through, that helps to push the ball off to the right. Okay. But what you've got to watch here is that when you set up, if you open the club up, I can see what's going on in your head now. Okay. As you open the club up, I think you're letting everything move that way a little bit with it, you see?
Right.
So that's why I'm getting the impression that you're slightly closed to the shot, because you're opening up and then kind of almost aligning to that with a club.
Yeah.
And the problem is when you get that sort of position, you're probably going to come through and shut the face down on the way through to square it up.
Right.
So what we're trying to get here, Craig, is we're trying to get a square setup, but you want the face just slightly open to that, okay?
Yeah.
So that when you come through, that slightly maintaining that open club face to a better stance. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
So I'm going to show you what I mean. Set yourself up again. Just set up like for a practice swing. So the point I'm making with you here is ground the club. If you sort of do this, right? If you kind of open up that way, you feel what that's doing.
Yeah.
So you're meant.
That's a draw swing.
That's a draw swing. Yeah. What I was saying to you before, I want you set up square, right?
Square.
I want you set up square, and then just at the last minute, I want the face sort of slightly open, so that when you swing through the ball, the club's going that way, but it's the slightly open face that will pop it that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So watch you don't start setting up to the open club face, okay?
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Makes sense.
So set up square. Maybe start off with the club face square, and then when you grip it, just the feeling you've got here is you're not letting the club face close. Okay.
Yeah.
You're just keeping that club face slightly open in your setup as you swing through the swing. That was better.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you've been doing.
That's what I've been doing.
Because I was watching you when you first came in.
Thank goodness for
I'm
that.
thinking he looks closed. That would explain it, because I was kind of forgetting in the last lesson we've been working on that club face.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you've done. You see, you've come in. The first thing you're doing is open the club face, and then as you open the club face, you're doing that.
Yeah.
You see.
Yeah.
So now as you see, you've got a drop. You've got a great for the driver.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, great for the driver, but we've talked about the subtle difference. Your perfect iron shot, I think, is more like a sort of, you kick that track, man. I think it's I think it's showing 6.4 on your last swing. There's no way it was there. I think somebody's swapped in. I'll get it in a wee minute. Yeah. So for you, your perfect ball flight for an iron we thought was maybe more neutral, maybe even a wee tiny cut. So set up square and then just watch that club there. That's the difference, okay? Rather than sort of setting up to that sort of club face in that position. That might be what you've been doing. That might be what you've been doing with your pitching, to be fair.
Well, yeah, I think
that's a possibility.
Open it up,
If you've been getting closed off to the open club face.
So what I'm doing is I've been doing that to make sure it's closed, but that's been closed off, and then you get the draw.
It's a draw swing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it.
So
start. I think
still setting up square.
Start off square with your setup, and then just keep an eye on that club face through the swing.
A wee bit of my swing. Yeah, that's the one. That's what we're looking for. Beautiful.
Now,
love that ball flight.
Yeah, I think I said that. I think for you, I think we were chatting about that the last time, weren't we? About that might be your perfect ball flight for an iron.
Yeah.
Just the tiniest little fade, but for the driver, the feeling of the draw is a good feeling for you.
Yeah. Got driver. want to get into this short game today.
Not hit too many with the driver because we want to have a wee look at the. So nice setup. Now you can get it on your left heel. You can square off and you can hit it at the backside. Okay.
Yeah.
We never cut that one.
Oh,
No, caramba. Clacker.
top path -2.
Let's see the strike. Yeah, slightly toe hit. You see that there?
Yeah.
Probably where a wee bit of the draw came from.
Yeah.
It's a nice setup.
Yeah.
Watch it, did they get too far forward and just ask for half? That's it, just on the left heel with that ball position.
Yeah.
Okay. And just, as I say, solid contact.
Oh. I fell out of tempo there.
Yeah, another one right off the toe. You see that there?
Yeah.
So come a wee bit closer to it, maybe. You look like you're stretching for it just a little
Yeah.
bit. Okay.
That's the one.
That's the one.
You got closer. Okay.
But it just shows you. It shows you the small. Shows you the small. Don't hit any more with that because we need to see the wedges.
Yeah.
Okay. Shows you just the small margins there, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Okay. If we just have a wee quick look at this one, watch this one here. So this was a slight toe hit. And I was thinking I'm thinking you were just a little bit stretchy for the ball, maybe
Yeah.
just a fraction. Let's see if we can see what the toe hit was doing to that impact there. There's,
Yeah, there
there's
you
the
go.
deflection, you see
Yeah,
that there?
yeah,
So
yeah.
if you watch that there, club comes in, boom, 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 slight toe hit, face deflects open. You think when you see that ball would go right, wouldn't you?
I know it.
Toe hit.
It's the gear effect.
Gear effect. So that one there was better, came in.
Boom. Yeah.
There you go, no deflection. You see, all going straight. Perfect. Perfect.
Right.
Right. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Are you gonna, so what distance are we kind of talking with the wedge?
I want to do so I've got my gap wedge here, it's 48 gap wedge. I need one club that I can go to. There's a lot of the times
Are we talking close in or like?
there's a lot of shorter par fours the way I hit it where I'm 50, 75 yards out and I want to hit a nice, controlled pitch shot, low pitch shot with some spin.
Let's give you.
Not hitting
Let's
it
maybe
fast.
I'm going to take it onto that blue flag on the left here, so you've actually got a sort of distance target to go for. Okay.
No, move the track, man.
I'll do it. You're alright.
Yeah.
So
That's
just so
blue flag.
because if you're hitting it in the middle of nowhere, it's not really very realistic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know this is a difference, and bear with me on this one, right? I was practicing earlier, and it's like you know how Steve Stricker almost has it's like sort of deader wrist, and it's more wide to control it like that. I'm thinking that might help me because I've been trying to be a bit more controlled and a bit over wristy, and I'm just hitting it fat. I want to have a really simple pitching technique that I can just take to the course to give me a bit of distance control and not hitting it fat is the main thing. So
We'll go
Sure, you'll
go on the
think
blue flag there. Okay.
how long is that flag away? About
It's about 60 yards.
60 yards.
What's that?
48 gap wedge. Is that alright?
Just whatever you would hit 60 yards. I don't know what you would normally hit 60
That'll be a
yards.
sand iron or
Well, hit that one. This isn't mine. You can just hit it a wee bit lower. We're just looking at the strike.
quite like that.
Not too bad. Another one.
This is me making a late. I want to actually implement this sort of pitching technique, I think, because it feels simpler. You know that Steve Stricker technique where he just
Another striker. We got you dead handy.
that was a bit fat. But I've got that right on the
Here you
flag.
come. Here you come.
the fat shots in the winter that's killing me, because even if I'm catching it a centimetre behind the ball, it's just killing me for these scoring shots. Like, look at that.
So would you look at that setup? What's the I know you're actually slightly off angle on the camera, but if you look at that setup, what's the first thing you're thinking?
A bit wide maybe?
That's what I'm thinking. Just a bit too wide. Okay. I don't want a wide stance with a pitch. Interesting. If we look at the first move back, it moves off it. See that there? And remember we talked about with the wedge. Remember we talked about with the wedge swing. You come around the front. So I think the thing that makes the wedge swing a wee bit, you made a good point. You want to consistently hit the ground in front of the ball. Okay. So the good player with a wedge will often set up a bit narrower than you, maybe even slightly favouring the left side. Often the feeling of being centred on the wedge, so at the top of the swing, instead of being kind of over here, you're almost feeling like you're a wee bit on your left side there. You see that there? Now from there, you see you don't have as much work to do. You're already on your left side, so it's easier for you to turn through. Whereas my worry with you is if you get a little bit there on a short pitch, it's like you've actually got a lot of transfer to do to get over on it. Okay, we don't need it. You could argue with the driver, that big load's going to work with the driver. Works well with the driver.
I need a way I can just be more. I need a simple scoring pitch shot.
Set yourself up. Wee bit narrower stance. Practice swing first. Sorry. Wee bit narrower stance now. What I want from you is I want you just to lean slightly left. Just not too much. Just a wee bit. That's it. Now you're going to make a backswing.
And grip, Colin. Is it better to have a weaker grip?
No. Just go standard grip.
Standard grip, right?
And right, are you okay? And you can swing back, and then through. So you feel a bit more centred on the way back there. Okay. So you're not shifting off it as much. Okay. So same again. You go back. I can almost hold your head into the backswing now. I'm going to let you hit one. I'm just actually going to hold your head on one just to give you the feeling of staying centred on. Okay. So that's good. As I say, weight slightly left, and then you ready, Tim? When you're ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go.
Okay. On you go. So that was simplifying it. You see there?
Yeah.
So the swing, the centred swing where you're kind of here, okay? Because you've got your weight, because your weight's more centred on it. All you really have to do now is rotate, and you're going to be in the position here. If you get a little bit shifty on it with the wedges, shifting off it works for the bigger clubs, but doesn't work too well with the wedges.
I need to think about like.
No, I think actually,
like,
I think a wee bit more left side at the top of the swing. So if you set yourself up, that's it, and you just.
And I need a stronger left hand for this, or like for the dead hand. No.
Sit up again. You've been on YouTube too much about it.
Right. How's that grip looking then for this shot?
Fine.
The same grip for this shot.
Didn't have to change your grip. Sit up to the ball.
He doesn't like me talking about the ball.
You're going to swing to the top and stop. Swing to the top and stop. So it's interesting, what do you feel there? Probably feel a bit more sort of weight there, on the shot.
Yes. Do you know what I think it is as well? Is it because I've got a wee like hip issue sometimes I get a bit sore in there. I feel a little bit almost like I can tweak the hip a bit. I think that's maybe why I'm protecting myself a little bit by coming away from it. I just need to stretch, getting older. Let's see what I feel. You said what I feel.
Just stay centred, just keep your head on that line there so it doesn't shift off it as much. And then turn through. That's it.
And wide to wide, yeah?
Forget that. Just turn through. Too many things going on in your head. That's it. Just sit. Leave it narrower stance, stay centred on the backswing. See, the reason I don't think wide to wide is maybe a great thought for you would be this. What's this? If you think about this, right? If you've got a wee bit of a problem with shifting off it, mentally if you think wide, it almost drags you a little bit that way. You see that? Yeah. So just that image. Now that might work for someone who's a bit narrow and wristy, right? So if I got someone over the ball who maybe, give you an example, maybe started the backswing that we're kind of like that, okay? That feeling being wide, but you're not really like that. You don't really do that away from the ball and flick it up with your hands. But I worry about you being a wee bit, when you think wide, it takes you there. Okay? So I think what you'll actually feel when you're staying centred is it's less wide. I think when you're staying centred, you'll actually feel the club naturally kind of comes up a little bit more. You see that there on the
I
backswing?
just worry about coming in a bit steep and fat on these wee shots, you know.
No, I don't think that's the problem. I think if you look at your attack angle, it's not massively severe there. You see that there, minus 2.6 isn't heavy. Okay, my bigger worry with you is hitting the ground behind the ball.
Yeah.
So I think when you're coming into the ball, I think what we've got to get really good at doing is, and here's an interesting one that you might quite like. Okay, this is an interesting wee drill that you might quite like. It's quite a good wee drill for wedges, this, right? So what I want you to do here, obviously the idea with this drill is not to hit the board, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a little practice swing just there, that's it. As I say, not too wide, stay centred and turn through, okay? Good, now up to the ball now. Same kind of thing, stay centred. Move an inch that way with your feet with the ball position, that's it. And turn through. So that feeling there almost of having something 3 or 4 inches behind the ball. If you came in too shallow to that, you see that there? If you give me here's a wee example, okay? Go and just give me your old swing. Just sit up. So leave it wider stance. Keep it wider. Just think of going
Wide to wide.
Just think of going. Yeah, move that back a wee bit. Think of going wide to wide on it. It's pretty interesting, this one. I think wide to wide. So straight away you hit it on the backswing, aren't you? But just do that again. Just see if you can actually hit a shot wide to wide.
Without hitting the board
I
on the
try
way
not to
back.
hit the board. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You might come in shallow and you see the difference? Did you hear how you hit that?
Heard it, yeah.
Exactly. So if you think about that, right? You think about that on an iron shot, but particularly on your short irons, if you've got like a board 4 or 5 inches, your club shouldn't be touching that, should it? So you should be coming down on the perfect strike. You should be coming down and hitting, consistently hitting the ground there.
Yeah.
If you're coming in and you're hearing a bit of that,
Yeah.
so that could be something that's a nice little sort of training aid for you there, something like that. You know, you could maybe put a wee towel or something down there just to stop you getting too wide. That makes sense?
Aye. I've got a divot board as well, like to show me where I'm hitting the ball. I've got the wee things that change colour, like when you.
Interesting. So set up again. So I think what we're saying, a wee practice swing, slightly narrower, slightly.
What's that, like 6 inches behind the ball?
Yeah, 6 inches. Slightly narrower. Definitely feeling it. You're, if anything, a wee bit more that way. That's it. And just stay. Wee practice swing. Just stay centred on it. And then turn through. That's it. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just sometimes.
Right.
That's it. So slightly narrower and just that sort of a wee bit more centred on the way back when you come into your backswing. That was different.
It was thin.
Thin to win. Try again.
I thought he'd buy into the Steve Stricker idea.
I like Steve Stricker as a player. He was very cold. Go for it. Centred. Nice.
I like that. I'm still thinking a wee bit wide to wide in my like,
Well,
it's because if I don't think wide
where?
like on the follow through.
Yeah, but you're talking about wide in the backswing.
Well, narrow to wide then.
Tell me the advantages of being wide on your backswing with a wedge.
It's a good question.
Not a lot, is there?
But wide follow through is fine, right?
Well, you got to be
Because
careful.
it helps me.
You got to be careful with that because a wide follow through for you, mentally, watch this a wee second, mentally could get you back into the feeling of being a wee bit that way. Okay, I actually what I would quite like is with a follow through is the feeling of just almost just firm wrists or holding the face off or something. So a follow through that looked a wee bit more like this. Now to me that's not massively wide. Wide to me is that.
Yeah.
You see, I'm not wanting that with a wedge.
No.
Okay, I actually want with a wedge. I want when you turn through the ball, I want everything to feel a wee bit
So
more.
it's more a rotate with everything.
100%.
Yeah.
Set yourself up. Let's just try that. So if I put your club against the tee, we've done this, okay? Take your stance. Now, put your club against the tee. Remember this one? Come leave it that way with your feet. Sorry, and then just put that. Show me that wee bit of compression on the tee. Okay, wee bit of, with your right knee, not with your hands. Okay, that's it. There you go. Now from there, just turn it through. See, to me that doesn't feel look massively wide,
No.
because that left arm's quite connected.
Yeah.
You see, so I'm not really wanting you out here somewhere on a wedge shot.
That's not what I mean by wide though. What you're saying is my version of wide. You know.
What do you mean by wide then?
Well, I think what I've been doing is
Wide to me means wide
Right,
to
wide.
wide. All connected, I think, is a good thought for you.
Connected.
Okay? That's a good thought for you. Okay. So nice and centred, and then just stay connected as you turn through the ball. Ball position more in the middle. That's it. We're doing everything we can to hit the ground in front of the ball here. Okay. So that was nice. That was nice. So that was a really good strike there. Feel that?
yeah.
Come on, attack angle. Don't miss me.
Well, give me the attack angle.
That was nice. I liked that. I thought you struck that one really well. Thought you were.
It shows, yeah, it's a nice cluster.
Yeah. But you could tell there wouldn't be any divot or anything behind that golf ball.
No.
So ball in the middle, not too wide. That's it. Slightly and definitely a little bit more centered look on it. Okay, so you're definitely a little bit more centered on it. That's nice. That's nice.
That's nice.
You see that what you've got to remember is, right, the less you change your technique, the easier it feels for you. So then then your attention can be on the course management side of things. Okay, that's the ultimate goal here. The ultimate goal on every lesson is to get simpler. The thought process to get simpler, not more complicated.
Yeah.
Okay, so that when you're out in the golf course playing this year, you're trusting your swing and you can just focus on your strategy.
I just
right?
want to trust this
Yeah.
hit shot.
Yeah.
So then for a 40 yard,
Yeah,
same club.
leave it narrower, still staying slightly left. That's it.
for a 40 yard.
Yeah, just staying right centred over it, same kind of idea. That's it. And definitely when I look at that, that doesn't look wide to me. That looks like it's turning left
Yeah.
on you. A bit more folded with that left side.
It's feel versus real, isn't it? Because that feels wider to me compared to what I was doing, which was like sort of, you know. So I know it's not wide, it just feels wider.
Okay.
So a wee 40 yard.
Stay
narrower.
centred. That's it. Feel like you stay over the top of the ball in the backswing, so you feel like you're kind of staying sort of centred over it as you turn back. Nice. Nice. Like that.
Yeah.
You know, the stance width's quite important. We picked that up a wee bit with your driver as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Now the driver's the one club where sometimes being wide, you know, is a big advantage. But I think if you get too wide with the wedges, it definitely is going to. I think it's definitely going to
nice.
promote
That looks great.
a little bit more of a move off it on the backswing for you. So if we look at that there, now I know we've taken a bit of distance off the shot, but if we go back to just quickly show you this here. So that was your first wedge that you hit from 65 yards.
Yeah.
See, I much prefer that.
Yeah.
Okay, see that there?
It's just wider in general with my stance throughout the bag, isn't it? It's narrower than I think with driver, narrower than I think
Yeah.
with.
So I think that's better. That stance there, I think what it's going to do, it's going to promote a little bit more of a centred backswing, so you're not shifting off it as much. Now from there, to me, the swing's simpler now, because all you have to do from there is just rotate your chest and your hips. All you have to do from there is just rotate.
Yeah.
And just maintain the position of that club face. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the swing. Whereas this one here, when you've shifted off it and you're on your right foot,
Yeah.
you've actually got to shift back onto your left
Yeah,
foot.
my heels
Ah,
actually
Yeah,
off.
and it's like, oh, there's a bit too many, and you can actually see it looks almost wider and stiffer there. Whereas that one there looks maybe just a wee bit more relaxed as it's coming through.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, great. Okay,
So a couple
good.
of interesting points there. I think with the irons, watch that you're not starting off with the open club face
Yeah.
and then fitting your setup
Yeah,
into the open
yeah,
club
yeah.
face. Set up square,
Square.
and then just at the last minute, just get that feeling and maybe maintaining that slightly open club face through the swing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then with the wedges, I think just gonna
Narrower stance.
narrow, stay centred, and then
a
just turn through.
connected.
Turn through.
Connect
And
through.
the more you connect up, the less hands will get involved,
Aye.
and that'll control your
So it's
direction.
more, it's dead. It's still that dead hand feel, isn't it?
Dead hands feel,
Dead
yeah.
hands. Dead hands.
But not by trying to. The reason Stricker was almost like quite a good example for people, because Stricker had a lack of wrist action on the backswing. Stricker had a bit of a lack of hinge on the way
Yeah.
back. He actually looked quite he looked quite sort of dead handsy. But all of the players are dead handsy.
Yeah.
You can be dead hands from a more hinged position.
Yeah.
You know, the key through here is just to control that club face
Yeah.
through the impact zone. Okay?
Yeah. Brilliant. It's nice. I'll
Interesting
add
as
that
ever, chaps.
into the repertoire.
Every day.